Hey folks, Matthew Brannon is going to take me to Clear Lake tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to go see what we can do. Fish have been spawning for the most part. Obviously we get waves. Our spawn happens from March all the way through probably at least end of May. Water temps the last time I was up there, which is about a week ago, were low 50s or high 50s in the morning, getting into the low to mid 60s during the middle of the day and up in the afternoons. So chances are we're going to find fish in all three phases of the spawn. Depending on the water clarity, because it's been shifting a little bit lately because of some of the winds we've been getting, we will probably be able to see some cruising fish, bed fish. I plan on throwing some big baits, some big glides and stuff, so there should be some good followers coming up to the top. But we're going to go see if we can't stick a few. I know most of the tournaments have been taking at least 30 pounds for a 5-fish limit to win, so nice. Definite potential for some big ones.
Cool. It'll be a good break for me. I was at the Kayak Adventure Series, filmed one day there. I fished one day prior to that, and then it's been a lot of dealer visits. I think I've gone through, I don't even know how many states. Like I drove through Texas, went on forever. Texas.
Oh yeah.
Texas, like
West
people
Texas.
talk about Texas being like, oh, they want to be their own country. They deserve to be their own country. They're that big.
It's a long way through West Texas.
Then New Mexico, Arizona was beautiful. Stopped by, I think there was a shop in Arizona that I was at, and then came into Southern California and just did dealer visit. Saw a really beautiful country coming from San Diego up here to north of San Francisco. Drove through San Francisco this afternoon, and we're here. What is it? An hour and
About an hour and a half north of San Fran.
Yeah.
So we're up in the edge of wine country, just around Napa.
And we're going another hour and 15 north to get to
Clear Lake. So more wine country, Lake County wine country.
So this is a weekend. This is a good break for me from doing all the dealer visits. A good opportunity to fish like one of the best places in the world to catch largemouth bass.
Good warm weather too.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we're gonna get some sleep. Get up early in the morning. And go. Here it comes. So you do this drive a lot?
I have done this drive almost every weekend, pretty much the entire time I've lived in California, so since 2013. Yeah. It is an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 minutes, depending on which ramp I'm going to Clear Lake. And this is the mild part of the drive, going up 101. It's beautiful. You're going through Sonoma wine country. We're going to go to the Hopland Gap, and that is a crazy road that most people don't like. It's, if you get motion sickness, it's definitely, you're going to feel it. Lots of windy, twisty turns. There's no shoulders, but when you get to the top, there's a beautiful view of Clear Lake up there from an overlook. And that's pretty much when you know you're there. You get your first look at the lake, and you get to see whether or not it's white capping or not, whether it's nice and smooth. This morning it's supposed to be flat calm until roughly 10 o'clock, I guess, is when the breeze will start picking up a little bit. But definitely a fun drive with a lot to see. The river's actually not flowing too hard. Yeah, there's Clear Lake, but the sun's out. Where we're headed. Nice and calm this morning.
So I can tell that I've not been running this boat much, if at all, because I'm a mess. Like, I got things in places that they need not be. And I'm leaning one side. I have 2 Torpedo batteries. One's on the left side, and I can feel the kayak leaning. There's Matthew, who fishes out of this all the time. And his stuff is dialed in. You're running
batteries.
flat.
2 Torpedo batteries, 3 Dakotas up front, I got 2 BuzzFeed cubes under the seat, plus a Plano Deep with my swim baits in it. Black pack's fully loaded, but everything's pretty organized. 8 rods, no problem between deck.
I think I need to go back to the rod tubes straight up with the black pack. I think that is something that would help me, because I'm still in like thinking, at least mentally, like river mode of, you know, I gotta go tunneling. I'm about to lose a leverage landing net. I'm still treating this like a riverboat, and it's not a riverboat.
It can be a riverboat.
Yeah.
There are better riverboats.
And my riverboat can go out on Presque Isle Bay, but it ain't right. I was in full-on submarine mode, man. Like, you see me out there going, you know, I'm just going down in the troughs, and it just, like, so much water was coming in. I wasn't gonna sink it, but it just looked like, hey, there's a guy out there on the seat, just a seat. Yeah. Like, I can't see the boat. So we're underway here, and we're heading, I guess, over to a creek mouth, and Matthew's provided me with a local favorite bait. What'd you say? All-American trash fish?
Yep, the little creeper, all-American trash fish.
Little creeper, and I got the beast hook with that little spinner. What's the hook?
That is an Owner Flashy Swimmer.
Owner Flashy Swimmer in what?
That's a 6/0.
6/0. So, yeah, I'm gonna, he says to retrieve this nice and slow near the bottom. And I got my Eternity RX10. Haven't actually caught a fish on this, but had this made actually for fishing 1-ounce jigs deep back in Maryland, but I figure it's a heavy, so it's probably good for that bait with that big old hook. All right, so we finished our run, and I'm putting this thing in the water, the 360. This is actually the first trip I'm running it with, so I got my little pin. I got to get an extra one of these. If I lose that, I'm in trouble for that one objective mount. I'm going to turn to see if I can give you a better view of this. So much of it is my reflection. I think if I angle that down, maybe you see it better, but not a whole lot out here. I was saying, you get up next to the tulies, and it'll be 4 feet deep, kind of right up to it, and he recommends just slow rolling that trash fish along the bottom slowly. So I'm gonna do that. So we've spent some time back in a creek, and I was skipping up into areas where I was kind of trading places with a bass boat that was back in there, kind of crunching through that stuff. Man, the mosquitoes here. Look at that. I pulled out of there. I didn't get anything. Didn't even get anything to feel funny, or their carp back there spawning. They're making a bunch of noise, but because Matthew said that there are different stages of fish that are pre-spawn, spawning, and post-spawn, those bigger ones tend to go early, and I'm trying a pattern that I would be doing back in Maryland, not quite yet, but early June. You just come out from where they spawn and find that first drop off or point. What I've done is I've used the side image function of the 360 transducer, which so far I'm enjoying, except for the fact that my boat is leaning. I got to figure that out. It's driving me nuts. But I used the side imaging part of it and marked fish on. You come out from the creek mouth, and then it drops off, and I've got a bunch of fish marked right over here. And it's a pretty crisp drop off, and I saw 2 or 3 marks, and I'm like, those are fish. Are they bass? Are they, carp or some other kind of fish? I don't really know, but putting a mag fatties on them, which is a very, very good post-spawn, get back to deeper water type presentation. see if that works. Green pumpkin, mag fatties. I asked Matthew, I'm like, black or green pumpkin? He's like, green pumpkin. All right. Those are my colors. All right. Got my first Clear Lake Giant. All right, on the mag fatties, just started wandering off in like 18 feet of water on that drop off. That's what's out there. This little, I don't even know what you are. That's good. Just spook the whole area with your motor, Jeff. He's 11 incher. Look how tall he is for 11 inches. But yeah, lots of waypoints on a drop off. Because I'm marking fish on that hard bottom, the first place it drops off, and those should be big fish. That was not a big fish, but it's a fish. It's not skunked on Clear Lake. Waypoints, kind of cruising into them. Gotta hang a left to dive closer. That's a fish. Yeah, I'm in it, and then I'm gonna cast kind of off in this direction. Yeah, fish. That was a fish. That would be in a different position because I moved. That was a fish right on that mark. And then you can see the drop off there and some fish right on the edge. See that? Drop off, fish, 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 fish. Got some sunscreen on. You always want to make sure that you grab the right stuff, the sunscreen, because if you reach down and you grab the other stuff and smear it all over your face, it doesn't help as much.
Don't mind, I like it. I don't like clear.
So if it's this murky, why is it called Clear Lake?
That is a good question.
Was it somebody's joke or?
The only time Clear Lake's ever clear is in the middle of winter, and that's because the algae don't grow.
Huh. Oh, that was one. He likes that corner. That's interesting.
There's all kind of little bait fish in here too.
Yeah, I don't have to go far to find food.
Found feet.
So,
In the shade, right up underneath the edge of them trees, right at the trunks.
but not eat.
They won't hit anything. But you can see them. I mean, it's definitely 100% bass, not carp or anything.
Huh.
But you get a lure next to them and they just sink down in the water column. Give it a few minutes, they come right back to the surface and sit there.
Wow. All right. Did you catch any?
I didn't catch anything.
I got one 11 incher. I can say I got an 11 at Clear Lake.
Yeah, I mean, we saw fish. Fish are up, but the lake's so pressured. It's super hot today. There's no wind. We didn't really see anybody catch any fish. One boat said they had a 3-pounder and 2 little ones, all on drop shot.
We saw a lot of boats.
Yep, saw a lot of boats. This lake's been pounded here lately with the Juan Bass Open and the MLF event that was up here. So a lot of 100 to 150, 180 boat tournaments lately, week after week. And I think a lot of the fish are just beat up.
Yeah. So tomorrow, instead of coming here, we're gonna play pickleball because we both suck at fishing.
Oh, there's all kind of options. I mean, there's Delta, there's Hennessy, Berryessa.
No, I'm happy to come back. We're gonna bring Amanda, and maybe she can show us something.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't mind not catching anything as long as somebody catches something.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll give it another go tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. We got some recruitment back there. You should wave or do something, Amanda. I can't tell.
It's pitch black dark.
There she is. All right, where we headed back to Clear Lake again?
We are headed back to Clear Lake for some redemption. This time we're swapping ramps instead of fishing up north. Yesterday we were in the Lakeport State Park area, County Park area. We're gonna fish more central, so we're gonna have a little more variety of structure to fish. Yesterday was mostly grass and tules. Where we're going today out of Brados is in the Narrows, and that's kind of the transition point on the lake. You get the deep rock, but you also have tules, and you also have a lot of residential docks. Yeah, they did it in spinnerbait. Oh, I have your depth finder and you have mine.
So I messed up. I did not bring my throttle. So we got the inflatable. Grab that so that we could get that up top and actually travel together instead of driving 2 vehicles. And left the Pro Angler back at home. I'll be running the inflatable without the Torpedo. Bummer, but it actually paddles really good. So I got 2 anchors, front and rear. What are you starting off with? You got a Z-Man spinnerbait?
Yep.
Cool.
Greenback shad.
You gonna trailer it or? What do you put on the trailer?
I'm not sure yet.
And Amanda and I sat right here in between these 2 markers, casting straight out. I caught like a 6 on my first cast, another 5 on the next cast. We went out, I caught a whole bunch of fish, came back in the afternoon, I caught a 7 right here. Amanda's PB came from right over there, right behind that marker.
Yeah.
Junior stuck a big one over there and dumped it, probably 8 pounds.
It's a bottleneck. If there's wind is coming in like it is, it kind of
There's actually current that goes in and out of here. There's no outflow. It's wind generated, so the wind will push it in, and it'll go in for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it'll turn. It'll flush back out, comes back in. It's really crazy.
I think the little bit of wind we got today is gonna, like we had no wind yesterday.
Well, and you see the water clarity is different here too.
Yeah, it is clear. I tied on that baby bass Senko.
Yep.
Give that a go once we get where we're going. So Matthew here is giving me a tow. So I forgot a critical piece of equipment.
Hard to run a motor without a throttle.
Okay, I didn't get to show you any of that action, but I will show you what rig finally caught one of these on the back side of the toolies. I got out and waited. There's no other way to do this. Gosh, they're way back in here. I'm gonna show you this rig in a minute, but I went ultra finesse, and man, it was fun, but just maddening that you have to go to such extremes to get them, because it's so flooded that they're all the way at the back. So let me show you this rig. All right, I was skipping Senkos. I lost Senkos. I had heavier weighted, like shaky heads, and I say heavier, like quarter. This bullet weight is, I think it's less than, it might be 3/16, might be an eighth, I can't remember. It's tungsten, got the bobber stop there, and it's the smaller, what are these called? The TRD bugs, and a very small flipping hook. It's the only way I'm able to get it into the toolies and out, into skipping the brush and out, and have, you know, not just constantly mess with snags and break-offs, and you know, it's a micro punching rig is basically what it is. All right, I've fished, I put in around the corner and all of this sort of open area on the back side of the toolies. I fished. I skipped up in there. I've been doing a lot of the slingshot where I pull the weight back and let the rod load and skip it in that way. The first one I got just a second ago was right in here, right on the back side. Yeah, this area on the back side. It's actually some of the deeper drop off. A lot of this has been like super shallow all the way through here, and I can't imagine that they're not in this. I just can't get it in there deep enough. Right up in there, there's got to be fish in that. I've gotten a couple shots in there, but nothing major, nothing really deep in there. And certainly nothing that I think these boats are getting to. Sorry that I'm not actually showing you me catching these things, but I got a workable pattern, and you know, I think they are bedding back here, but when they take it that deep, is that a bedding fish? I don't know. Might be. I don't really know though. But this little hook is doing its job. So we'll keep doing this. Glad to finally figure out something that's working. All right, I'm back at the Casa de Brannon, and Matthew and Amanda around here somewhere, but wanted to kind of go over with the Sharpies what the conditions were out there. I'm not going to do the time-lapse thing because I'm here with my mobile editing studio. I'm just going to draw it and then we're going to show it. All right, here's the illustration. The blue line is where the water level usually is, and when that's the case, you can certainly position out here and, you know, throw some jigs or swim baits or whatever you normally do. It's accessible because that's as far as they can go. Maybe they get up in these root balls, they're in these toolies here, but the red line is how high it was, and these fish had access to this area back here. I hope I illustrated the Clear Lake fish as fat as they actually were. I think so. And Matthews was the one right at the end, was super fat. They were all real heavy for what they were. Anyways, this was probably from there to there, it was just impenetrable. The only way that I got, access to these fish, and they were all back there, is by floating in with the inflatable, getting back there and working this area that there's no way you're getting a cast through all of this stuff. And physically going back there and getting to this flooded, backside of the, of all the grass, all the trees, they were there. So unique set of conditions for Clear Lake this time, with it above full pool level. And, they went where they could not be pressured. Normally they get messed with out there. They get poked in the face, they get caught, they get carried away to, weigh in somewhere. If they can get back there, that's what they're going to do. That's what they did. That's where I found them. Cool experience though, for sure. Alright, so getting to areas that are just super difficult for anyone else to access is always a good recipe. That combined with going a lot smaller than anyone else normally would. They didn't hit anything. I don't think so. I think that the lake being as full as it is, it's above full pool, definitely makes it tough. Honestly, it's a lot like snakehead fishing at high tide. Really hard to catch the snakehead at high tide. It isn't until low tide where they come out into the channels and they're not at the backs of the, on the backside of the grass. If you snakehead fish, you know what I mean. You hear them back there thrashing and you're like, I can't get to you. So I always tend to go at high tide, but this Clear Lake being above full pool, similar conditions, Put some places that most people can't get to, and it's taken a day and a half of fishing for me to figure out. All right, just dive in, pack your way back there, and they're in there. Sorry. Yeah?
Yeah.
You kicking back on Mother's Day?
What?
Are you kicking back on Mother's Day?
I am.
Nothing wrong with that.
Chad Hoover even sent me a Happy Mother's Day text.
Did he?
Yeah.
Huh. I just saw one swirl off of that little patch there.
Straight in front of me?
This thing.
Oh.
Huh. I just remember he's there. I'll come back. I just swam right past him and spooked him. So. Yeah, I've had 3 fish on, landed 2 of them.
That's better than me.
Yeah.
That's just full of few.
Good. What's he getting them on?
I have no clue. I haven't asked him.
Okay. Matthew, what are you getting yours on? Punching. caught up with Matthew, and look what he caught. Ooh, nice, man.
Yep. That's a 4/8 punch fish.
Very cool.
So 4 pounds 8 ounces. She's full too. Tail's all beat up, but she hasn't spawned yet.
Very cool.
So
show me your the rig you caught on. Actually, let's let her go back in the water, and then we'll look at the rig you were doing.
I got that fish punching. Strike King structure bug and Falcon Lake crawl with a 1 ounce tungsten weight, double bobber stops, 65-pound braid, and that is a 4/0 owner. I think they call it a heavy cover flipping hook. So just targeting isolated clumps of tules with duckweed surrounding it. So that's where they're spawning. So you're hoping to get near a spawning fish. So, reminds me of a story about a one-legged man.
Oh, you got a fish?
Yes, sir. You're catching raccoons, muskrats on one side and then fish on the other.
To let the rat go.
No way. I'd rather lose the fish. I catch fish all the time.
Is it a catfish?
I think it's a carp.
What were you using for bait?
A little piece of chicken.
What?
But I had bread wrapped around it too, just to make like a carp ball, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cat.
You want me to net it? Yeah, line's moving out.
Alright.
Yep, you do. Sure enough, all heck's breaking loose.
No, you gotta catch a rat to catch catfish around here or what? Yeah, she just went into the store real quick.
She works here. She related to Tony? Nothing?
I think she just knows him real good. There might be a little cat on that one.
You need a net or you got it now?
I think I'll get him.
Oh yeah, big old channel cat. Yeah, you still got a fish on the other one.
If it's a fish, it's not a big one at all.
Those things, we catch so many of those while we're bass fishing.
Yeah.
It ain't
Channel
funny.
catfish?
Oh man, they love chatterbait. Oh.
I think it was just a small one. Golly. Little tiny hooks are so hard to get out of catfish mouth. Out of the water.
How?
With my hands. What are you talking about?
Wrapped it?
Come on, man.